Well, again, Craig here from ForbiddenKnowledge.info. My regular subscribers are going to wonder what the hell I'm doing because this is not like my normal videos. It's going to be a little bit of a travel agent today. As you know, I live on the road and I travel a lot. I'm going to turn this video into guessing what road this is. First half of this video is going to be a series of hints and clues, then a reveal, and then talking about the history of this road, because this is a very historic road. This road is actually one of the oldest roads in entire North America. So there's your first clue. And actually, a lot of you will know that, yes, I'm in the United States, so this is actually in the United States. But long before the United States was here, the Indians used this road. Didn't have a yellow line down the middle, but the Indians used it, and animals used it long before the Indians did. It was a major herding route for various animals, long before the Indian even got here. So it's the oldest roads in North America. A lot among the oldest roads in North America. This road is 444 miles long. It's one of the most famous roads in American history, but 99% of you will have no idea what I'm talking about, where this is. This, as you can see, this road is not well traveled, but yet it's one of the most famous roads in American history. And actually, I hear a car coming. A momentous occasion, break out a beer. And this is to prove to you that yes, indeed, this is a real road. Top speed is 50 miles an hour. Not a single stop sign or stop light the entire way. Well, that sounds like it would have to be out west somewhere like Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona. Well, by this vegetation all around me, you can see I am not in the desert. So no, it's actually east of the Mississippi. This road, you will not see a single billboard. You won't see a single driveway or house, telephone pole, McDonald's, gas stations. You won't see any of that. You won't see a cow or a farm even, or a cornfield. Although there are a less than 1%, let's say, you will see a couple of farms and some cows. Less than 1% of this road. Where is this road? One of the best kept secrets in America, as you can see. But there is another car coming. Typically I could lay in this road I'm in the middle of the day of August right now. In the middle of the day and like 11 o'clock in the day in August. Travel season. Where's the travelers? Normally I can lay on this road for 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time, and not get hit by anything but maybe a deer. A lot of deer and turkey on this road. This road is not a toll road. This road is administered by the National Park Service. You see, it is groomed. They do mow along the sides of the road and keep the road maintained. But yes, it's part of the National Park Service. Where is this road? Let's see, what else can I tell you about this road as far as hints goes? I guess I'll go to the reveal now. So if you want to stop the video and go back and listen to all the hints again, or if you want to do some research, come back. I'm going to reveal now that it is the Natchez Trace. Natchez Trace runs from Natchez, Mississippi, all the way up to Nashville, Tennessee. 444 miles. This road is very important in American history, and here's another car, believe it or not. I had several takes I did with this, and some of the takes had absolutely no cars whatsoever. There are stops along the way. In fact, I can show you here. I am at one of the stops. This is the only kind of signs you're going to see. Signs like this. You're not going to see anything but that sort of sign. There are some mile markers, but there's pull-offs. About every 5 or 10 miles, you'll find something of interest to see on the Natchez Trace. If you think you're going to travel the whole 444 miles in one day, you're wrong, unless you just don't want to stop to see anything. You're going to want to stop to see a lot. There's a lot to see. There's probably 100 stops along the way. Anything from caves to Indian mounds to old inns, original sections of the Natchez Trace that are still preserved. You see, it's sort of like Route 66, where you can't really travel the whole Route 66. It's in pieces here and there, and you have to go along the way you think it is. This is sort of the same way. This isn't, I may not be standing on the exact spot that buffalo used to roam, for instance. but they've made it into a national road back actually over 200 years ago, in fact. Here's some of the interesting history about this road. It's the oldest road, one of the oldest roads in this country, and one of the most famous, but nobody knows about it. This road, back in the days before the steam engine, was very important, because what would typically be done if you lived anywhere in the Ohio Valley whatsoever, along the Ohio River, all the waterways joining into the Ohio River, such as from New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, all these states, basically the people who lived there for trade would build a raft, put all their goods on the raft, and sail down the Mississippi, all the way to the Mississippi, to Natchez, Mississippi. Sail is the wrong word, float down, because it was really only a one-way trip. Because when you got to Natchez, you would sell your goods, sell your raft for the lumber, and walk home. And the walk would be the Natchez Trace. This was the road. It's essentially a one-way road going north. You would walk back home, or buy a horse and a saddle and go back that way. But that's how you got back home. And as you can imagine, this is one of the most dangerous roads in American history. Because at that time, imagine you just sold a year's worth of your goods, or 6 months worth of your goods. You got a pocket full of gold. You didn't travel the Natchez Trace except in groups with guns. That's how you went on the Natchez Trace. But the development of the steam engine made the Natchez Trace obsolete, because then you could sail up the Mississippi. And so the Natchez Trace went into disrepair, and for a good century after that, about 150 years after that, the road went in such disrepair that there's hardly any sections that are still originally that were there that are still available to see. There are sections. So this Natchez Trace follows the basic path of what it did back over 200 years ago. Now, the National Park Service maintains this. The Natchez Trace, the word trace, has confused me at first. I'd asked some of the park rangers what exactly that meant. And basically, it's not the Natchez Trail, it's the Natchez Trace. It comes from the derivative of the French, and I don't remember the exact word, but it comes from the French, the word trace, meaning trail. So it does mean the Natchez Trail, but it's called the Natchez Trace. You aren't going to find this easily. It's a good kept secret. It's really only been around for 20 or 30 years, I can't remember, in this form, where the National Park Service took it over and developed it to the such that they did. The park is only about 1,000 feet wide. Yeah, you can. If there were no leaves on these trees, you might be able to see a house or something back there, or farmland. So it's a very narrow, long national park, essentially. In the wintertime, traveling this road, you'll be able to see glimpses of houses and other things beyond the trees. But here I am in the middle of August, travel season, and there's nobody traveling. Not well known. I actually found out about it through somebody. I was in Tupelo, Mississippi. Oh, by the way, you can go through Tupelo. It goes through Tupelo and Jackson. But on the Natchez Trace, you won't even know you're in Tupelo or Jackson, unless you watch the signs very carefully and get off when you should. You don't see Tupelo and Jackson, even though it goes right through those towns. And that's true with all the two. You don't see a single town along the way. Where was I? The Natchez Trace. I was told about it by somebody, otherwise I would never have found out about it. I was doing a show in Tupelo, and he told me about it. He didn't make it sound very interesting, but okay, I'll go that, because I had to go south to, I don't know, I think I was going to Baton Rouge or somewhere, and so it was, I'll take my time getting there. I got a week to my next show. So I went down the trace, and I was amazed. Actually, there's so many things to see, a lot of history. Yeah, there's nothing like Mount Rushmore or the Grand Canyon here, but there's a lot to see. You'll spend a whole day's worth of your time seeing things in nature, because there's deer, there's turkey, all sorts of wildlife you can see along the Natchez Trace. And actually there's another car coming, believe it or not. So you won't know about it unless you purposely look for it. That's the only way to find the Natchez Trace. And the car decided he's going to pull off in the same spot I am. There's pull-offs all along the way. There's things you can see all along the way, about every 5 or 10 miles. And there are places you can pull off, and there are services, bathrooms. but there's no restaurants and nothing, no services except when you get off the trace and get onto areas. Wow. Rush hour. Another car. So anyway, I hope this video is interesting to you. Thanks everybody for watching. My friend here is going to stay with me till the end apparently. So long.